Shalom, 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 family. How about y'all? Shabrakatah. Hope you guys are enjoying your day. We'll give you quick apologies for the late start. It has been an eventful day. Brothers had to work today, and we also had a nice little ceremony today. The brother thought we weren't gonna mention it, but I'm talking about it. I was blessed to be able to attend Brother Yawar's wedding ceremony today. It was a beautiful event. So our apologies, that's where we were, and that's what we had going on today. When y'all get a chance, congratulate the brother, because it's not every day that a man finds a woman that he can really put his trust and love and affection into. He got one. So may that marriage be prosperous. Congratulations to you and your rib. And big shout out to Ashar, my big homie right there. To the little nephew, man. Hey, you know what I'm saying? All praises, all blessings. Thank you, Israel, for your patience and waiting on us. We don't have a long lesson today. We don't have a big lesson today. I kind of just want to talk about some things that are current. It's lucky for the noise. We kind of want to talk about some things that are current, that we've seen. We'll just give you a couple quick things. Shalom, Sakari in the building. But we want to give you just some things that we saw, some things that we've seen over the past week. And then, we'll open it up for a little bit of question and answer after that, depending on how you guys are. So without further ado, let's get into it. My bad, Slakia. Go ahead, Yahweh. You want to introduce yourself? Speak for a minute.
Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Yasha'Allah. What it do? I had to say the water to the Edwan Benaya. Definitely gonna have another ceremony for the brews. Definitely got to have one with all my Edwans and my Akim there. Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. But I can appreciate Edwan for being there. And with my real, I can say the water to her as well. And the water to the Most High by Shem Mashiach Yavashai. Because he blessed me with somebody that I've known over half my life. I'm 27 now. We've known each other since we were 11 or 12. So, and we've been friends that long as well. So it's like I'm not just meeting somebody that I'm just getting to know. Like I'm meeting somebody that I've known since I was a kid. Like a real deal kid. And she's for the truth. And she wants to learn more and wants to help me do this work and help push me do this work. So I mean, I can't ask for anything more. So
Proverbs 18.
Hold on. Can we get a precept that Sirach 25 and 1?
Sirach 25 and 1?
Because it's only 3 things that the Most High has beautified, and man, like 3 things that we beautified before the Most High and man.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 25, verse 1. In 3 things I was beautified. Beautiful both before God and men. The unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and a wife that agree together.
So that's exactly what we had before. We agreed together. We even agreed so much that we wanted to bring our son into the truth and make sure that he was born into the truth. And his name is Ashar, which means happy, blessed, or when you break it down, it can mean a prince. So all praises to the Most High for that. All praise to the Most High by Shem Mashiach Yahweh for giving me a rib that was more prone to the truth. Like, she wanted to be in the truth. Not just because I was her rib. Not just because, like, she wanted to be with me and I was already doing this. Because she actually, it was already ingrained in her. I'm not going to give y'all that kind of history, but, like, some people in her family actually helped bring out this movement back in the 60s. So,
your rib's history goes all the way back to some of the original founders.
And didn't even know it. Didn't even know it until actually chopping it up with her mama and her grandmother. So it's like the Most High brings stuff full circle. Like, so all praise to that. Like, but enough about me. It ain't nothing about me.
Before we switch paces real quick. Y'all, a lot of times, brothers and a lot of people want to say we teach about hate, and we preach about hate, and we don't really show any love or any unity. But that's the exact opposite of what our message is. We want Israel to come back to itself. We want Israel to love itself. To start choosing ribs in your own community. Start choosing to be with people that look like you, that act like you, that think like you. You know, so like the brother is saying, he met a rib that her family is tied into how we originally started with this. Like that's powerful, because that means that his seed is going to be that much stronger than us when the time comes for him to speak. And if y'all know anything about Baby, when y'all get to see Baby Ashar, y'all gonna really understand. That's an austere brother. That brother don't smile at all. He don't play at all. You know what I'm saying? He gets straight to the point. All right. So you know what I'm saying. But I want to read this. Proverbs, 18 and 22, real quick. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor of the Lord. So you know what I'm saying? Just letting you know, brother, you know, you found her, you unlocked the door. You know, it's some things, it's some things that you gotta do to make sure it stay positive and they grow. You know what I'm saying? You gotta protect her, you gotta provide for her, you gotta be there. You know that. So you know what I'm saying? But all praises that you found one that you can actually endeavor to do this work with, because you just had your ceremony and you weren't here with us. You weren't here with us, and she's sitting right there like, yep. I mean, he's supposed to be doing the work. So you know what I'm saying? All praises to that. And shout out to the princess. Shout out to the princess, man. Beautiful ceremony, and again, Tawada for allowing me to be in attendance. Now,
there will definitely be another strictly for the bruise. You gotta have one for the bruise, so all the Adawanium and the Akim can show up. Got to. It wouldn't even, I ain't gonna lie, that wouldn't even feel right. Like, got to.
That's right. All right, Israel, I gotta show y'all something. It's a little disheartening for us. We gotta switch gears. We're gonna completely change it. We gotta see this though. We gotta view this, and we gotta digest this for what it is. All right. Many of y'all familiar with the young brother that had to. Well, if you haven't, just watch this video real quick. Hold on.
She posted the now viral video to Facebook accusing her son's classmates of forcing Humphrey to drink urine. She claims the sleepover was orchestrated by the kids to purposefully bully him, none of them befriending him the month before to get him to come. But it was also that night she says he was shot with BB guns, hid in his sleep, and called racial slurs. She says Humphrey has been harassed, degraded, and physically and mentally tortured by his schoolmates, but despite reporting the incident, says she didn't receive help from staff.
When you say
there's nothing you can do, what do you mean exactly?
Now Israel, y'all heard what I just heard. Let me run that back real quick.
Says she didn't be guns, hid in his sleep. But it was also that night she says he was shot with BB guns, hid in his sleep, and called racial slurs. She says Humphrey has been arrested.
This little boy was shot with BB guns, punched in his sleep, and berated with racial slurs. Just treated like he was lower than dirt. All have some friends who want to be around some people. His mama probably won't set it up. Now that's crazy. That's crazy. We still have this mentality that we need to join with the other nations. Like it doesn't make any sense to me that this is what we're
And physically and mentally tortured by his schoolmates. But despite reporting the incident, says she didn't receive help from staff. When you say there's nothing you can do, what do you mean exactly? Because
you know what they mean? That there's nothing you can do? They mean there's nothing we're going to do. There's nothing you can do because we're not going to do anything to fix it. We're not going to do anything to make you feel any better about this. We don't care. We don't care. I want y'all to see, look at the disparity. Look at her face. She like that. Now this is a bad pause because it really looks like she's smiling right here. But she's confounded on how they can actually have this conversation.
it seems like there's a lot of things you could do. Where it was premeditated and it was obvious that Samaria was only invited for their pure entertainment. Police say they will conduct a full investigation to identify any crime.
Y'all remember that movie, Dinner with the Smucks? Y'all remember that movie? That's what that is. A modern day Dinner with the Smucks. They went out their way to befriend this young brother a month in advance. They set him up a month in advance. All the movies we watch, Dinner with the Smucks, Mean Girls, right? They went out their way to do this. Now you got to ask yourself, why? Why did they want to do this? What was the point in this? What makes a person want to do that? What makes a person even want to act like that? Well, you got to be a person to really, you got to actually be a human being to have some feelings. So what makes them want to do that? What is this? I'm going to run this back one more time. And then y'all, I'm going to let you take the floor real quick. Not them precepts that you want.
Yeah, you good. I ain't gonna lie, they made me a whole lot more mad. I didn't even see that news report, but I seen the video.
Go ahead, get your first precept real quick. Let me
like when you look at the original case of it, and when you look at the original post, because I seen it through Facebook, because they showed what happened through Facebook. Said that he was forced to drink urine. He was forced to drink pee. So, precept that I had was Matthew 27:34. It says they gave him vinegar to drink mingled with gall. And when he had tasted thereof, he would not drink. They literally forced us, and that's the same thing that they did to Christ. Like they forced him to drink urine. Like you got to be sick as hell to force somebody to drink that. And they really went out of their way to force that little boy to drink that. But y'all still want to cleave to these same dusty, dirty ass, palm colored ass heathens. Yes, I said palm color because they the
color of the inside.
yeah, and I'm light skinned, so they really lighter. Like, come on now. These the people y'all trying to cleave to. These the people y'all want to impress.
Somebody, I need somebody to explain this to me. Somebody somewhere in this chat needs to, if you can you explain in a scripture, what is it that makes Israel so willing to cleave to these people? Is there anybody that studied that much that they can tell what scripture shows us where we can that why Israel is so willing to take this type of abuse? What is it? Because this ain't natural. This ain't normal. This ain't something that we supposed to take. You got to be trained to do this. You got to be trained to take this.
It's a lot, everyone. I'll say this. Israel hasn't studied enough, and Israel doesn't necessarily know enough because most of Israel is still oblivious to Israel's identity. Monique Robinson, the water says. So since most of Israel has only been taught white Jesus, most of Israel only sees white Jesus. So we look at the white man as God subconsciously, or we can't even see the God in each other.
Right.
Because let it have been a sleepover full of black boys and they did this, I guarantee the mom's ready to go and shoot up the whole house. Or she'll have somebody go and shoot the whole house.
Oh, she's not going to the school superintendent. She's going to that house. She's going to that house, and there's going to be a fight. She ain't asking the school superintendent to do something about this. She's not confounded on why y'all ain't did nothing. She did something. If it was a black student that did this to another black kid, oh, she's just whooping. She's whooping the little boy. She's whooping the mother. She's going to try to whoop the father if she can. You know that for a fact. But because they're white, you know, automatically you can't beat your savior. You can't punch your God in the face. You're naturally going to be submissive to it off the rip. You're naturally going to be submissive to it. You're not going to do anything about it. You're going to ask questions. Why wouldn't you? Why isn't this getting solved? Why is it like this? Because you believe that a person that is evil has the ability to do good. That's not the case in this situation, or else your son wouldn't be dealing with this. Like, that's a straight up fact. Dealing with this, if that was the case.
It's a lot, Cad, one. Yeah, Khan, you said her savior. Because I ain't gonna lie. I'm stumping ears together. I'm stumping ears together, all that. Like, nah, you just made my son drink piss. Like, and you thinking I'm gonna risk my life to stump your ears together because you made it seem like my son was trash. And you made it, you thought that was okay for my son to drink your piss. Like, nah, it don't even work like that. Nah. Especially when y'all beneath us, y'all lower than us. Y'all are base people. Y'all not even considered a part of being a human. Y'all are considered a part of mankind, but not a part of considered being a human. Because when you break down the word human, you get two words. You get human, you get hue, and you get man, which is self-explanatory. Hue means color. Like the brother Octave was saying, first Maccabees, you have wicked Negroes that went out and was like, let us make a covenant with these heathens.
Right.
But since we have departed from them, we've had much sorrow. You have a lot of Jesse Jackson type Negroes and a lot of Reverend Al Sharpton type Negroes that are really there to do damage control. They're really agents.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't that. I said what I said. To hell with them.
This is that first Maccabees 1:11.
Bring that out.
And those went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen, that they are around about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
You want them same brothers that's gonna be Lord's will, brothers be there to make it. Same brothers that's gonna be there in the wilderness, in the second wilderness. It's gonna be like, shit, we missed them flesh pots in America where we can do whatever we want. Like same, literally. Just like the same brothers that was in the first Egypt that was like, we missed the flesh pots.
Hey, them same niggas that be like this. Well, at least they not whooping us with them whips no more. Nigga, please. They still hanging us. They still shooting us. Now they don't whip us. They just shoot us. Or they put their neck in. They put their knee in our neck while we sitting there, while we laying on the ground. It be you Negroes that do that. It be y'all. Y'all be the ones that get your sons and daughters killed. Y'all be the ones that get your ribs put in these situations where Edomites get to have their way with them. Because you don't understand who your enemy is. You got to that's something that's pertinent. You don't understand who your enemy is. An enemy is somebody who, so I can excuse my language, freaking hates you. Enemy is somebody who will do anything they can to throw you off your game. Period. Like your enemy is never going to take a break. Never. No matter what you say, no matter what you do. I don't care if you got married today. I'm going to go on my way to give you double today because you got married today. That's how your enemy is going to think. What Kendrick Lamar said in that song, I'll catch a nigga coming out to church. If that's all that I got. That's how your enemy is. That's your enemy.
It's crazy. Salakia, I don't want, because his brothers in Chicago that would do that same thing. Like, brothers will kill somebody that look like them faster than somebody that's of another nation that's working for the police.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say it like that, but that is what it is. Like, and some of my folks from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my people from Chicago, so I'm not just making that up. Niggas will kill you coming out of church. Niggas will kill you coming out your own house.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even live your life like it's golden because you're gonna get whacked. And that just is what it is. Like we've been fed white Jesus so much that we forgot to see the God in each other.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. And I'll say it again because some people might think like, damn, that's something deep that he really just. We killed each other so much because we've been fed white Jesus so much, we forgot to see the God in each other. So when I look at, say for instance, a brother like me, look at a brother like Benaiah, 9 times out of 10, I don't see my own brother, somebody that's of my nation, somebody that I should love and protect and cherish. I see somebody that's a threat to me, as opposed to those that are actually knocking my ass off in the street.
Right.
Think about that.
Watch this. Why? Let's take a look at this one more time. Just one more time.
She posted the now.
All right. Here we go.
Video to Facebook accusing her son's classmates of forcing Humphrey to drink urine. She claims the sleepover was orchestrated by the kids to purposefully bully him, none of them befriending him the month before to get him to come. But it was also that night, she says, he was shot with BB guns. hid in his sleep and called Rachel slurs. She says Humphrey has been harassed, degraded, and physically and mentally tortured by his schoolmates, but despite reporting the incident, says she didn't receive help from staff.
When you say there's nothing you can do, what do you mean exactly? Because I gotta be honest, it seems like there's a lot of things you could do. Where it was premeditated and it was obvious that Samarian was only invited for their pure entertainment.
Police say they will conduct.
She said he was only invited for their pure entertainment. That means these kids got together and decided, yo, what would make what would be cool? How can we entertain ourselves at a party? They got together and planned this. Give me Ezekiel 35:5. They literally came together and planned it.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity had an end.
So these people hate us perpetually. Perpetually means basically forever. It's never going to stop. They're going to find more inventive ways to cover it up, but it ain't going to stop. In the 60s, they called you nigga. All right? They just straight up looked you in your face and said, nigga, I don't like you. In the 60s. All right? Around the 80s, they started realizing, yo, we might get punched in the face if we call them niggas straight to their face now. These niggas is getting a little uppity. Some more derogatory terms to call them without saying it, right? So what they did was they decided, you know what? We're not even going to call them names. We're just going to start treating them different. We're going to start these different ways to get them separated. Go ahead with your precept, King.
This is Micah chapter 2, verse 2. Y'all know this. Y'all got to know this one. It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his heritage. Salaki. Let me read that back over. It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. So they don't have a problem oppressing a man and his house. What makes you think that they're going to have a problem oppressing a man and his heritage? Let that little boy said that he was an Israelite. He not finna do none of that. You don't think they would have had a problem hanging that little boy? And then on top of that, it starts at home. So at the same time, there's got to be something their parents teaching us. Teaching us. Think about that. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I've been had classes and growing up before this truth, I had some quote unquote white friends, if you will. Them parents having to have taught them this would have had to have been something that they actually learned, something that would have had to have been ingrained. Which tells you their parents didn't really have no problem with this.
Yeah, but the most I got a problem with it.
Absolutely. And they're gonna get that gift. Lord's will, those of us that's gotten done dirty by them, all of that, gonna get their get back. I pray sometimes that I get back on the family of that officer who beat the dog shit out of my granddaddy for just giving him the equality speech. Because the Most High never said we was equal to him. He said we was above him in the first place. But my my grandfather, he didn't necessarily see that. He at least wanted to give him that kind of respect.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I'm stumping on ears. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm stumping ears together. I'm clapping ears together. Lord's will.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm on all of that. I'm on that type of time.
I mean, like we said, the Most High is not the Most High not forgiving this. The Most High already set forth. He already said it. He already predicted. He already called it. He already said exactly what he's going to do with this. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is masterful with how he sets out a plan and how he does things, because he set it out early. You go to Amos 1:11. What did he say? Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword and did cast off all pity. And his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. You see, this is what they doing. They keep something going forever. That means you have to teach your children how to do it. That means they have to teach their kids how to stay on top. In order for them to stay on top, most white people have a superiority complex, and understanding that they know, or understanding that they're not capable of doing the things that we're capable of doing. All right? It comes from them understanding that. So the system that they build up, they have to actually uphold that system and actually teach their kids to put more into that system. That means they got to tear you down as much as possible from the beginning. They have to teach their kids how to be little black kids. They have to teach their children how to make black children submissive. They're still teaching their children this to this day. That has never stopped. They're still doing it. And this is the proof of it. This video is literally the proof of it. You think these little kids, these little boys just woke up one morning and say, yo, let's feed a nigga some piss?
No.
If any race of people should wake up in the morning and decide, yo, let's do some fucked up stuff to another group of people, it would be us. It would be us. But we're too busy doing that, taking that same animosity and doing it toward our brother.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you brought that out. This is a precept. What we gonna have to do to them so they can't do it to us anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's Isaiah 14:21. It says, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta whack them. I ain't gonna lie. That might mess with some of y'all spirit. That might not feel right in some of y'all spirit. They asses gotta go. Period. They gotta go. Because as long as they here, they're gonna keep oppressing us. Like, you look at any time Jake and Esau have been in the same kingdom, neither one could coexist.
Mm-hmm.
Each time one of us has been in rulership, the other one's been in poverty. You can look at the Dark Ages, you can look at now. You can look at the Roman Empire, you can look at before that. You can look at when King David was ruling, King Solomon was ruling. Mm-hmm. Yes. Even during King David's time, you even had Edomites that was willing to actually come in and actually try to do something. And now, even this time, you even see them not fulfilling their end of the bargain. They're ready to actually knock our heads off because we're not in rulership. If we were in rulership, you think they would really be trying to do this?
Well, we're not in rulership. Right now, we're not in rulership because we keep trying to tie ourselves to our enemy. We constantly tie ourselves to our enemy. We at have we realized that actually we are a separate people? Like it wasn't a coincidence that that's what the Most High called us, that we were supposed to be separated, because being with these people causes us great turmoil. Joining hands with them, yeah, we may get some benefits in the onset, but after that, then what? Then what? What do we get after that? We get beat down, we get strangled, we get t-shirts to say I can't breathe. That's what we get. We don't get anything after that. But we are a separate people. The Most High has chosen us to be a separate people. To be separate means you got to be withdrawn. You got to be pulled out. You got to be away from that. You can't have that same mentality. You can't even want your children to want to be a part of that. And that's what his mother aired at. She wanted her son to be a part of that. She wanted her son to actually have those friends. And she's surprised that these friends were willing to do this, and the school didn't do anything about it. The school did nothing. But she's not understanding. We are a separate people. Get that in Deuteronomy, King.
Okay. I gotta be quick on the tour. You got the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto him upon the face of the earth, upon all people that are upon the face of the earth.
God, the Most High sets you up to be up here, and you want to reside with people that's down here. You lowering yourself to be with these people. And you don't understand it because you want to fit in. Israel want to fit in with the world so bad. Like we just want to be regular. We just want people to not look at us and judge us for the color of this. Like that's all we asking. You don't understand that this is kind of set you apart, man. It makes you different. It makes you a little bit tougher. It makes you stronger. It make you the fact that you got to deal with extra stuff because of that makes you different, man. You separate. You separate. Now you got to walk in it. Now you got to live it. Now you got to get rid of that old man, get that leaven out your system and get rid of that old man and be a new man. That's the hard part. That's the hard part. You imagine the father of this little boy trying to tell his mama, yo, don't send him to that party. Don't send him over there. If you send him over there, something bad can happen. What you think will happen? Well, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling what these graphics might do. It's like for the language. There's no telling what they might do. Because you see how confounded the woman is? See how
Investigation to identify it.
and she's shocked. How could they treat my baby like this? This is egregious. Why would they do that? She is shocked. She never thought that this would happen to her at all, or her son. This is going to happen more and more and more, more and more and more. All right, because we keep joining to these people. We keep trying to add ourselves to their numbers. That's just stupid. It's just dumb. At the end of the day, we're taking away from our numbers. I'm saying, I heard something today. I was listening to a song on the radio, and I heard something today where the young lady said, she said 13% divided is 40 million united. And I had to stop it. I had to stop what I was doing to think about what she said. 13% of America is what we consider the black population, the African American population. 13% of us is 40 million people. 13% of us stop doing what they want us to do. That's 40 million people united. America's system will crash if that happens. Literally, it's over with. But before you can get to that point to do that, you gotta let your love for your enemy go. You gotta let your love for your enemy go, man. You gotta stay away from your enemy. You gotta get away and listen to what the Most High said about not loving your enemies and separating yourselves from your enemy. Sorry, my bad. You have something to say, Yahweh?
Yourself.
What?
This is Joshua chapter 23, verse 12 to 13. It says, else if ye do in any wise go back and cleave unto the remnant of these nations, even these that remain among you, and shall make marriages with them, and go in unto them, and they to you, know for a certainty that the Lord your God will no more drive out any of these nations from before you, but they shall be snares and traps unto you, and scourges in your sides, and thorns in your eyes, until you perish from out this good land the Lord your God hath given you. So, long story short, leaving with the other nations has never gotten us anywhere but more turmoil. And that's from the Most High. As long as you dealing with these other nations, you're going to feel some turmoil because you keep doing the exact opposite of what I told you in the beginning. I told you don't cleave with any other nation. And you cleaved with a multitude of them. You cleave with every other nation.
Mm-hmm.
So your ass deserve what you get. Long story short.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, I hate that we in captivity, but to an extent, we deserve what we get. Because we directly disobeyed the laws of the Most High. To an extent, they didn't have to feed our babies to gators. They dead ass did. Their ass just gotta pay for that. I ain't gonna lie. Because they realized they didn't have to feed our babies to gators. They didn't have to do the trail of tears. They didn't. It was a lot of things that didn't have to get done. They did that to us.
Mm-hmm.
Chinese was already over there doing what they was doing to us. The Arabs was already doing what they was doing to us. The Indians was already doing what they were doing to us. All of these different nations, they didn't have to do exactly what they did, but they still did it.
Mm-hmm.
Over that, the Most High is righteous for whatever judgment they get. Whether it be we stump their ears together, and y'all know that's one of my favorite phrases. Yeah, stump their ears together. Because I said exactly what I meant. Stump their ears together.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be putting them in subjection, whatever it might be, they deserved it because that's what they did to us.
Mm-hmm.
Even in this day and age, we don't catch whoops, we catch bullets. So think about that. Before you get it saying, oh, he's too extreme, he's too racist. Look at it from the other side. Back then, we used to get our ass beat. Back then, we used to get our back whooped. Back then, we used to look treacherous, terrible after getting beat. And now, you'll be lucky to see a brother with 2 bullet holes in him. Especially if it was by the police, because they're going to shoot us. Shit, we look in Laquan McDonald case, shit, 16 times.
Mm-hmm.
Just something to think about.
Mm-hmm. You see the chat? Did you see what Vadi asked? Do we have to be nice to other nations? I noticed they be, I guess she's saying, I noticed they be treating me different even as friends or whatever. Do you have to be nice to the other nations? No.
Hell no. Treat their ass like some ops. If you can do it and it don't mess up, I'll put it like this. If you can treat their ass like some ops and it doesn't mess up your paper necessarily, because we all gotta survive in this captivity. We all still gotta
Matthew 5:25.
do what we can.
You don't gotta agree with your adversary, but it is smart to know. It is a good thing to know. It's smart to actually appease him, or at least make him add a little fluff to what he's saying, so that he won't be bothering you. Well, that's the purpose of Matthew 25. Matthew 5:25.
Come on, Matthew. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 25 and
Matthew 5.
Verse 5 and verse 25. It says, agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him.
Right. So like you agree with him. Agree with your adversary. If he's Shalom, King. If he's causing you discomfort, and it's something that could cause you to lose your job, or maybe causing him to agree with your adversary. What? Keep reading.
Lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison.
Time. That you don't. That the last thing you want is to be taken away from the people that you love and you care about. So if you can avoid having these extra issues with these people, do so. That it doesn't make you. It doesn't take anything like you being an Israelite or anything else in the truth. If you understand that these people have the power to take me away from the situation or my friends and my family that I need to take care of, that doesn't take anything from you when you do that. Now, when you have an adversary that's just, so strong that he's just openly going to make it an issue for you, sometimes you just got to give him the business to back him off. This is what happens. But if you can find a crafty way around it, if you can find a way to deal with it without it having an adverse effect on your life, do so. You're not a coward for doing it. There's nothing wrong with you doing that. It's actually very smart of you, and you're commanded by the Most High to. That's how you're commanded by the Most High to deal with it. It shows that you don't have to be carnal when you deal with something. You can be spiritual when you deal with it. You don't have to go down to his level and be like, "Well, fuck you too." Then, no, I can do this on a whole. I can ignore you and watch the Most High play out in my life, and you can lose your job, and I can still be here. That's how you have to deal with it, sis. That's how you have to do that.
Salaki, Adawan. Just to add to what you were saying, a lot of times because we've been used to being mistreated for so long, it's just pent up frustration. So when we have encounters with police officers and we are in situations like that, we normally snap. It's probably been 100 times you've been harassed by a police officer. You probably didn't have a loved one beat or even killed by officers or something in that situation. So when it happens to you, that one instance, you might snap and lose it. But what the other one is saying is what the scriptures will tell you to do is just to be practical and use wisdom, right? It's wise to find the easiest exit out of that situation, right? To agree with your adversary in that moment and say, you know what, you got it. If they ask you for license and registration, please, it doesn't make you soft or less of a man or less of a woman to just say, here you go, instead of saying what you pulling me over for. Because once Jake or Eve say what you pulling me over for, that's going to turn into something else. We not Esau. We don't get to just curse out the cop and tell him how we feel, no matter how bad of a day you had. You could have had the worst decade known to man. They don't care about that. So when we in certain situations, we got to be practical and we got to use wisdom every single time. And that's what the Most High requires of us. I yield the floor with that.
The water thing.
Down the bar.
A lot of times people think that we're supposed to, like, when as an Israelite, you're supposed to be some all-knowing, some all-peaceful, nothing bothers me type brother. But the Lord is a man of war. Yeah, I was a man of war. So of course you're going to get to the point where you're ready to wage war. You're going to get to that point. Now the best thing to do when you get to that point is to think about, how's this going to affect my life? Is it adverse effects, or is it something that can positively enhance my life? And you'll find out a lot of times that Esau has already set up a trap. Most of the other nations, they set up a trap when they want you to get mad so they can play it like you're the angry black guy, you're the angry sister. You know what I'm saying? So it just makes it easier for them to get rid of you, especially when in job situations. You see it play out all the time in the stories when Karen, when she starts the issue with Jake, and then Jake's like, I'm not having this shit. So since she want to cry out, oh, he fucked me, he hit me, he did this, he did that. Yo, no, I didn't. I have it on camera. She act like the camera ain't even there. I have it on camera. We watching you go nuts for no reason. Well, you shouldn't have did that. It's things Esau don't do this. They don't wake up in the morning and go, well, let's try a new tactic. No, this is what got Emmett Till killed. They're still pulling them games. This is what got Emmett Till killed. This is why Rosewood is a movie that we all watch, and we all know, but we'll all tell you, everybody will say, I'm not going to watch it just willingly. Like, I'm not just going to turn it on my TV and go, yeah, let me look up Rosewood. Because we know the reality of that movie. We know exactly how that movie really, how that played out in real life. And we know that there's a brother somewhere going, that was me. I was this close. That was almost me. It's hard to stomach. It's hard to stomach that we still live in this time, in this world, where they can still try to pull these moves on us. They always do this. But what did the Most High command us to do? He commanded us to separate ourselves from these people. Right? He commanded us to move past this situation with them and separate ourselves from these people. If we don't separate ourselves from these people, we're going to die. We're watching it unfold every day. We're going to die if we don't separate ourselves from these people. So now, what are you going to say to your kids now? When you see it, what you going to do? Yeah, well, Becky and Brad, their parents is just full of hate. They raised them wrong. You should avoid going to Becky and Brad's house. But Mom, Becky and Brad are having a party on this weekend, and all my friends are going. You said I could go. Now you looking at your son like, yo, first of all, don't talk to me like that. Second of all, nigga, I said no. And he gonna keep going. He gonna keep pestering you. He gonna keep pestering you. Eventually, one day you gonna break. And so all it takes is that one time for your kid to be in that house with all them Edomites by himself, and boom, over with. It's over with. But we was commanded to be separate. Keep yourself separate. Y'all, you got something?
Con. I got Sirach 6 and 13.
Mm-hmm.
It says, separate thyself from thine enemies and take heed of thy friends. So, of course, a lot of times we want to cleave to our enemies, just like our forefathers. Want to deal with the other nations, but the Most High told us that we was a separate people in the beginning. He told us we was a holy people in the beginning. He told us that we should be holy as He is holy, and that He had severed us from other people. So He had cut us off from other people in the first place. But nevertheless, we still want to do everything like the other nations.
Right. We can't never seem to just be our own entity or be our own group. We always got to tie ourselves back into them. And And I wonder, you know what I'm saying, what is it going to take? What's the Most High going to do to have to do to show us you error? We seriously out of pocket when we keep trying to join to them. Hey, you got a group of people who stole you from your land first, then brought you over here and told you to work. Right? Then when they was giving you work for free, they told you to pull yourself up by the bootstraps like they had to do. While they was coming up, you was doing the work for them. And then they tell you pull yourself up by the bootstraps like they had to do. All right. Then when they stop that, they tell you, well, look, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's not that bad. We're just gonna put these black coats in, some red lining, you know what I'm saying? No loitering, don't be in front of my shop, you know what I'm saying? We're just gonna add that, right? Then they finish that, they realize, look, all that didn't keep them from being a solid family. So let's take the black man out the household. Let's something to make her feel like she's important, and let's take the black man out of the household. So she won't realize that, if you take him out, the little bit that we giving you is going to run out in a couple weeks, and you're going to still need him to be going to work to pay the bills afterwards. She won't think about that until she's destitute and then can't do nothing. So once they finish that game plan, what do they do next? Oh, look, they still making babies. They still together. They're still figuring it out. Okay, so he's not there when we do our inspections during the day. So that means he got to be coming at night. You know what? We got to attack these kids. Let's make these kids love all of Esau. Let's take it a step further from that. Let's make these children some Zaire Wades. Let's get a couple of those out here. Let's make a bunch of these kids think that same sex marriage is cool. Make sure that when you make the cartoons and everything that the gay character is black. Make sure when you make the movies, the gay character is flamboyantly black. Like, he can't just be a DL brother. He got to be out there in some skin tight pleather jeans. And his boyfriend got to be white. He got to be white. The boyfriend got to be white. You see how they attack us from multiple angles? They get us from multiple angles, right? All this in the name of making sure that we still love them enough that we don't riot or revolt against anything that they do. Because the closest they got was after George Floyd. That was enough for them to go, oh shit, these Negroes might actually come together. We got to do something. A lot of people don't realize after George Floyd, most of Black America was this close to uniting all the way. And then they started throwing us gifts. We started seeing police officers saying, I quit. We started seeing some reprimand. We started seeing police officers going to trial. They gave you so many gifts that you. When the last time somebody went out and protested? When the last time somebody went out there and protested? Nobody wanted to go. Nobody went out there and protested, huh? We ain't doing that no more. We ain't got to worry about that no more, huh? Well, since we ain't got to worry about that no more, guess what?
Offenses.
Yo, like this.
Switch to Chevy. I switched from one for adventure.
With an impressive lineup of cars, trucks, and SUVs, it's no wonder people are switching to Chevy year after year. Find Ian Rollins at your local Chevy dealer.
This is still happening, man.
She
This is
posted
still
a now
happening.
viral video to Facebook accusing her son's classmates of forcing Humphrey to drink urine. She claims the sleepover was orchestrated by the kids to purposefully bully him. One of them befriending him the month before to get him to come. But it was also that night, she says, he was shot with BB guns, hid in his sleep, and called racial slurs. She says Humphrey has been harassed, degraded, and physically and mentally tortured by his schoolmates, but despite reporting the incident, says she didn't receive help from staff.
When you say there's nothing you can do, what do you mean exactly? Because I gotta be honest, it seems like there's a lot of things.
There's a lot of things they could have did. This is gonna keep happening, man. This is what it is. It's gonna keep happening. That ain't gonna change.
Like, somebody,
Go ahead, King.
people got to realize, well, our nation has to realize that loving your oppressor is a mental illness. You are mentally insane if you love somebody who hates you. And I'm talking about your oppressor. I know somebody gonna be out there like, what the script say? Nah, we don't play like that. I'm talking about your oppressor. Somebody, you know, they talk about Stockholm syndrome. We probably lead the entire earth, the entire world, in having Stockholm syndrome. You will never find another nation of people sitting back trying to get along and reenact and replicate all the stuff that their oppressor does. But we do. 4th of July, we barbecuing harder than Esau on the 4th of July with the whole fit on. You know we going shopping to get the new fit. It's the 4th. Right? Celebrating the day that your ancestors were still in slavery, getting beat, raped, robbed, and pillaged, but you celebrated the most. You know, you can't wait to throw the hot links on the grill because Jake loved pork. So you grilling, celebrating the day for absolutely no reason. And you know what? They sit back and laugh at you because they're like, man, these people outside, they out of their mind. Look how broken they are. They look at us like we not a challenge. Because mentally, we've been shattered. Like we're destructive. No matter how physically, our physical prowess is, and how strong we look and strong we appear, mentally, most of us don't got it because y'all still continue to go back and try to be just like your oppressor. You want to live like them. Some of y'all want to look like them. Some of y'all want to be them literally. Y'all literally want to be Esau. Like, man, I wish I was, Edomite. I ain't gonna lie. They come out with their credit score high. Like, y'all be saying it. Don't act like y'all don't. Some of y'all can't stand to be a Jake because the life too rough for y'all. Y'all want the easy route. Like, man, I should wear them polo shirts, you know what I'm saying? And I don't mind driving a Ford Focus. It ain't that bad. I don't gotta have a caddy. I could drive a Ford Focus, a little hybrid. Prius ain't that bad. As long as I can work at this corporate job. And that's how y'all feel. Y'all mentally have been destroyed by your oppressor. And then you continue to go and relive it every day without standing up for something. It's ridiculous. How you?
Now look, we said all that about Israel wanting to love their oppressor, but who are we really supposed to love? What does the Bible tell us about loving people? Who should we love first? Who should we love first, man? Go to Mark 12 and 31 real quick.
It's the book of Mark, chapter 12. You said verse 31?
31.
It's the book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 31. And the second is like, namely, this: thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Thou shalt love who?
Thy neighbor as thyself.
Now y'all, who's the neighbor?
Your neighbor is the children of your people.
You gotta prove that. You can't just say it. You gotta prove it.
All right. There's the book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 17 through 18. It says, thou shalt not hate thy brother, in thine heart.
Now hold on. Because you said it's our brother, right? So you gonna get all these things, I ain't gonna call them wicked Negroes. You gonna get all these Negroes that say, well, Esau was our brother.
Stop playing.
But that's what they gonna tell you. They was twins in the womb.
I know exactly what they will tell you. If they read Amos 1:11 and
there you go.
1:18,
take them right back to Amos.
If they ain't read Amos 1:11, Obadiah 18, Ezekiel 25:14, Isaiah 63, where Yahweh himself is coming to stump Edomites out, I don't know what to tell them. They leaning into their own understanding. I really don't know. Because everything in the New Testament is a quote from the Old Testament. So if you believe in the Old Testament and you understand who the audience is, you can't dispute anything in the New Testament because it's already spoken of. And then in Revelations 14:14, Yahweh is personally having these same, I ain't gonna say they Edomites, these same people dropped off into that wine press. So who knows? It might be fake Jake. It might be Esau. It might be both. Long story short, they both getting stumped out by Yahweh. That's what I can say. Now, let it Edomites scoff that. And we can go into those scriptures. But Leviticus 19:17 and Leviticus 19:18, it says, "Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself." So it's clearly showing that your neighbors are the children of your people. Who's our people? Everybody in our people. A Chinese man is not our people. That's a Moabite. An Ammonite is not our people. Or a Japanese person. That's an Ammonite. A Hamite, which is another black person, not our people. But he's black though. He's still not our people.
All skin folk ain't kinfolk.
Just because they skin to you don't mean that they ain't kin to you. We both just said the same thing, but we said it in a different way. The same way the Old Testament will tell you one thing in one way and will tell you the same thing in another way.
What did Paul say? What did Paul say? Romans 9:1-5. Romans 9:1-5.
Let's bring it up.
The water octaves.
You want Romans 9:1? That one?
Yeah.
It's the book of Romans chapter 9 and verse 1. I say the truth. In Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Ghost. That I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ. For my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh.
My kinsmen according to what?
My kinsmen, according to the flesh.
To the flesh. To this. Keep going.
Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption.
To who had the adoption?
Who the Israelites.
Keep reading, King.
To whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants. That's plural for y'all who don't know nothing.
Yeah.
And the giving of the law, and the service of Yahweh, and the promising.
God. Water. What's the go ahead,
Following up from more of that, it says the covenants and the service and the giving of the law. Who is giving the law?
Israel.
That's right.
And the service of God and the promises. Whose are the fathers? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Who does the Most High say? He is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came, who was over all, God bless forever all men.
Mm-hmm.
So Christ, who did Christ say that he came for? He said, I'm not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Come.
Come on now. This is self-explanatory. It says what it says. You can't get around it any other way.
God.
That's right.
The only way you're gonna get around it is if you lean into your own understanding, because how about Shimon Travis said exactly who he's coming to, why he's coming to them, and who he's coming to.
That's right.
Come.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Somebody posted
Nah,
it.
I don't want to close the book. Close the book. They don't get it. They don't want to get it.
Yeah. Nah, somebody posted in here. They let us into the next little thing we was gonna talk. Somebody posted about Meghan Markle in here. I'm trying to find it. If one of y'all can find that comment, let me know.
Come. Let's see.
But I'm pretty sure while we talk about love your people, it's kind of ironic that Meghan Markle is about to. She is literally destroying the royal family, literally. Like she is. I'm gonna take a dunk right here. Y'all just hold this for me. Literally, she don't care. But this is what happens. This is exactly what happens.
Oh, come.
Where did I see that? Go ahead. What you want? I know you wanted to say speak on Meghan Markle real quick. I'm trying to
Megan. But hey, you can't act like that wasn't a stripe or anything towards us, because Most High told us what would happen if we cleave back to any of these nations. Can one of y'all go to Joshua 23 and 13?
Come. 21:13.
23.
23 and 13. Come.
Come.
It's the book of Joshua, chapter 23 and verse 13. Know for a certainty that the Lord your God will no more drive out any of these nations from before you, but they shall be snares and traps unto you, and scourges in your sides, and thorns in your eyes, until ye perish from off this good land which the Lord your God hath given you.
It's lucky. So the Most High already told us, you cleave back to them if you want to. I'm going to make sure they're the worst thing that ever happened to you. Everything that you hate, in a sense, these nations are going to be. They're going to be scourges in your sides. They're going to be snares, or snares a trap. So they're going to trap you in some kind of way that's going to make you go off from being that once holy nation that you were. Which is why he told us, don't cleave unto these nations. Don't make marriages with them. Don't make a covenant with them. Any of that. Because the things that they do are inherently wicked when considered against the laws of the Most High. Most High God told us everything that we need to do. He gave us a game plan, a blueprint, everything that you might think that you need to know. The other nations, everything that's in the laws is meant to go against that. Literally.
Con.
Whether it's incest, scarring your face, eating abominable food, gainsaying, soothsaying, witchcraft, any of that, it goes against the Most High. No matter if they getting their power from the left hand or what. Because they're not going to get their power from the right hand, because their right hand power belongs strictly to the Israelites. I'm not going to take a brother's time.
No. Y'all see this? We got. That's a fact. That's a fact. She is Caucasian. You know what I'm saying? And they do use her to make us think that, you know what I'm saying, to believe in a woman of color. But it's the same as Kamala Harris. It's the exact same thing. They use Kamala Harris. And I'm still trying to, you can actually show people Kamala Harris's family on both sides, and they'll still go, she's a black woman. You literally, I'm confounded. She has an East Indian mother and family and a Caucasian father, and you're looking at it going, she's still black. Yo, you want to be lost. Okay, forget it. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. You just want to be lost. Literally show you her family, and you still want to. That's our. We want to be. We want to feel like we made it or we did something so bad. Like we can graft other people in and say, "Yo, they're us." This has been our downfall this entire time. Like every time we grab, what does the scripture say? When you bring one Edomite in, he gonna put himself above you. He gonna put himself very high, and you're gonna go very low.
That's right.
But you bring one in. That's their nature, to take over, to try to make you subservient to them. That's their nature. Like, and now it's hey, look, the royal kingdom just got to deal with it. Y'all just got to deal with it. Like now, you got an Edomite that thinks for all intents and purposes she's a sister. She got that whole attitude of Eve, but she expects to be treated like she's Esau. Now let's see how it plays out for y'all. Because most Jakes can tell you this shit, it's messed up. You're gonna lose. Most Jakes will tell you that you're gonna lose. She got a bad attitude and she ain't listening to nobody.
This book's snapping.
That's a fact.
You're gonna lose, man.
Hey, so like to add to what you were saying though, Adawan too, like our nation, we the most welcoming people to any other nation that's not our nation. We'll welcome anybody into our nation and treat them like they're one of us. Except your own brother or sister. We got more issues amongst each other than we do with anybody else. You can't accept the nigga from down the street. You hate him. He from 2 blocks down the street. I can't stand them niggas down there. But then you have somebody from the burbs that you work with for 3 days. Hey man, Tom is the greatest guy I've ever met. Gonna bring him over. Like we gotta stop doing that. But you hate your brother down the street.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do. You know, Jake love to invite somebody to the barbecue, right? That's the thing. Oh, he invited to the barbecue. You inviting the wrong niggas to the barbecue. Invite your family. Stop inviting everybody else.
We can't stop that. We can't. It's not a barbecue if the other ones don't get in. You know what I'm saying? It's not a barbecue if the other nations don't get in. Right? First of all, you got a lot of Jake that want that potato salad with the raisins in it. Yeah, it's a few Jakes that want that potato salad with the raisins in it. I ain't gonna lie. It's a few of them, man. They want that. They want extra mayo on their hamburger.
Not the raisins.
You get double scoop, man. Give me some mayo on my bottom bun and my top bun.
Right. No seasoning on that burger patty.
Matter of fact, don't even give me the cheese. Just give me the mayo on the burger, the unseasoned burger. Thank you. And don't even cook my burger all the way. The inside needs to be pink. It need to move. But if you put it on my bun and it don't do like this, when you put it on my bun, I don't want to eat it. Right? this how like Jake spending too much time trying to conform to what the other nations do instead of realizing like the Most High set it up. If we just follow the law, statutes, and commandments, the Most High has already set it up for us to be separated just by doing that. You don't gotta be no activist, no revolutionary, none of that. By you simply keeping the commandments, you're going to start to affect the people that you're around. You're going to start to make a natural change just by doing that. It's simple and it's easy. Well, I say it's easy. It's not easy for everybody to do it, but it's a simple thing. It's a very simple thing, man. When you get back to following these laws, statutes, and commandments, it makes things a little bit easier when it comes to processing how this world works. Because you know that you're not fighting a war against flesh and blood. You're fighting a war against principalities. So you know that there may be a fleshly being standing in front of you, but that person is still being influenced by a principality. And your job is to be separated enough to be able to discern between a person or an entity that wants to help you or an entity that wants to drag you down. But you can't do that just following, going off your own fruition and doing what you want to do. You got to do that by getting into these scriptures. You got to start studying for yourself and showing yourself approved. That's how this works. No matter how much we teach you, we can teach. We can have a class every day, 4 hours a day, every day this week. And it won't matter if you're not taking the time to process it and to teach and learn it yourself, to separate yourself. It won't matter. If you got to, you got to. But it won't matter what we do. It really won't matter what we do. We've gone to the point, we've got to the point now where Israel just has become complacent in wanting to beg for either equality or a seat at the table. And we got to get to the point where we want more than that. We got to get to the point where being on their team doesn't really fit for us. Either we transcend where we at, or we're just going to be stuck here. And the Most High said we can't be stuck here. He's going to come back and he's going to change everything. So it's time that we start preparing. Since we're getting around the season, we're getting into the season of Passover anyway, it's time to start getting some of that old leaven out your system.
Right.
Start looking at what you're doing. Go ahead.
No, I was just thinking about like the leaven. That's a lot of people think that that's only physical, but it makes sense as to why Christ radicalized everything and made it spiritual as well. Because we can have things in our system that tend to puff us up. That will play. I'm not gonna say they'll directly puff us up, but they'll play as byproducts to puff us up.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right, Israel. It's been a long day. We apologize for the semi-short lesson, but it wasn't really all that short. If you guys have any questions, we'll take your questions now. But we're going to get ready to shut it down in a minute, so brothers can get some rest. Like I said, it's been an eventful and a long day, and brothers want to enjoy their families, and enjoy their evening. I know this brother wants to get back to his wife and his baby, his newborn baby boy. So we'll take any questions right now if y'all have any. If not, we're going to be shutting it down in a minute. I know the one sister asked a question. If that question wasn't answered earlier, let us know. We'll do our best to answer it now.
Questions related to the lesson first.
Oh, it's quiet again. I would say that's bad, but I kind of like it when it's quiet. So, Con says definitely watch the video. Vedi said it is lawful to wear short skirts with leggings. I would advise you not to wear any short skirts, period, whether you have leggings or not. But in my opinion, your dresses and all your skirts should be, covering up a predominantly a vast amount of your thigh meat in your leg. So, in my opinion, anything past to the knee would be acceptable, or past the knee would be acceptable. But wearing leggings up under it, you kind of have a secondary covering. I just don't think that wearing short skirts fits any of the daughters in Israel. She said till she buys her new clothing. Well, yeah, if that's what it is, then yes. But but make sure that you're actively seeking to get new clothing that actually covers you up. But if that's all you have for right now, then yes, the skirt and the leggings. Just make sure that if you can get a long shirt that covers up your back parts, your rear parts, so that brothers aren't looking at that. And when as soon as you can get you some a longer dress, a longer skirt, then please, by all means, make that the priority. But if that's all you have, that's all you have. Nobody can condemn you for what you wear if that's all you actually have. Now, if you have a chance to change it, then you need to change it. And if there's no other questions, I don't see no other questions in the chat. Brothers, you have anything y'all want to say before I close it out?
Great lesson, Kings. Great lesson.
But the sister said, should she wear her head coverings at home all day? No, you don't have to wear your veil or your garment over your head all day during the day. You don't have to. You can, if you want to be righteous like that, you can. But mainly when you're praying, when you're reading the scriptures, if your husband is teaching you during those times, you want to have your head covered. But if you're just cleaning the house or just, out and about, or I mean, not out and about, but if you're just cleaning the house or you're just, playing with the kids or something like that, no, you don't have to, and not mandated that you cover your head during that.
Cool.
All right. So with that, we're going to go ahead. It's midnight. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and shut it down. Let the brother go spend some time with his family. I'm going to say again, the water ox for allowing me to be a part of it. This sister said, sweatpants at home. You're at home, sis. You're at home.
She might be new to the truth, so I get it.
Yeah, she is. She is new to the truth. She says she's new to the truth. You're at home, sis. You're good. You wear sweat at home. You're comfortable. You're all right. You're home. I have a hard time telling you don't put that on. You're at the house. The only person that sees it is you and the Most High. So what I'm saying, that is just I have a hard time telling you not to put it on. Now you go out in public with it on, I might look at you funny, but you're in your house. But yeah. Being said, we're gonna go ahead and shut it down. Closing remarks, Byron.
Hey, Shalom, everybody. We appreciate y'all for joining us as usual. Don't forget to subscribe to our Patreon page. Tune in tomorrow for another lesson for our Friday night class. Also, every Monday, Thursday, Friday, and we live on Facebook on Saturday around 3 o'clock. So tune in. The water, y'all.
Hey, man. Hey, the water. That's all I can say. The water. For all y'all that's in Atlanta, come to camp. If you worry about some COVID, I ain't gonna. Now I'm gonna say it. Do you really have faith in the Most High? Because whether it's man-made or it's God made is judgment. So if you're doing what the Most High requires of you, do you really have to worry about it? That's just something to think about. But that's not a shock to anybody or anything like that as well. So I say that to say this. Regardless of whatever, fear him that can kill the body and the spirit, not him that can kill the body.
That's right.
Yeah, so the water for y'all tuning in. Come to camp and how about Shemel Shah?
Hey, give me Romans 10:1 before we get up off here. And I'm gonna say the water to people for watching and listening. We don't take y'all lightly. I hope y'all guys are preparing for Passover. Getting ready to get that leaven out your system. Hope you guys are getting ready to enjoy the feast. If you're not coming to celebrate with us, I hope you have made plans with your family and friends to celebrate. Because this is our time. It's our time of year. So we want to say all praises to the Most High for you guys being here to learn from us once again. We do not take teaching y'all lightly at all. Go ahead with that Romans 10:1.
Con, it's the book of Romans, chapter 10 and verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved.
A bit tomorrow, says we're gonna do our new moon celebration tomorrow as part of our Friday night lesson. But with that being said, the water Israel, our praise to the Most High, and it's been another episode of Thursday Night Thunder.
Shalom, everybody.
Shalom, kings. Shalom, princesses. Shalom.